Good morning. Thank you all for attending. Parent Essential Oils, which are bioidentical EFAs, oxygenation, cancer prevention, a new solution. I'm Brian Peskin. I'm a degreed electrical engineer from MIT. And what I've done is I've taken the electrical engineering discipline, put it into medicine. It's called Life Systems Engineering Science. And the results have been absolutely phenomenal, as you'll soon see. In fact, American cancer rates, they're deplorable. Men, 70%, women, 53%. It is not the 40% you're told. On average, the average person will contract cancer before they die. Why the cancer tragedy? No one's connecting the dots. Makes no difference how smart you are, who made the guess, or what his name is. If it disagrees with real-life results, it's wrong. That was Nobel Prize winner Richard Feynman. I wish today's researchers would go through that and repeat it about 1,000 times because they try and force their pet theories when the real-life results aren't consistent. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complex. It takes a lot of genius to move in the opposite direction. That was Einstein. You're going to hear a lot about another Nobel Prize winner, Otto Warburg, who did just that. Cancer has one prime cause. The intelligence of the answer is directly proportional to the intelligence of the question. Please get used to asking very intelligent questions. There's a lot we do know. Let's concentrate on this. Houston Academy of Medicine, for example, 340,000 medical textbooks, monographs, scientific papers. Going back to 1830, the Lancet, I saw it. Cancer was well known, 1900, very easy to spot, tell. We're suffering from a wealth of information, but a poverty of understanding what it means. Somebody needs to connect the dots. Cause-effect relationships, mandatory. Epidemiology with associations is of little use. What's the difference? You get up at 6 a.m., the sun arises. Therefore, Sue's arising at 6 a.m. is associated with the sun arising. If you get up at 7 a.m., of course, the sun has already arisen. There's no association whatsoever. Cause-effect is all you should care about, not mere associations. That's why the research keeps going nowhere. Fats, what's the difference? Two types, you all know, saturated fats, unsaturated fats. We're going to spend a lot of time on the polyunsaturated fats, essential fatty acids, the EFAs. What I'd like to tell you is on the saturated fats, there's no saturated fat in arterial clogged thrombosis. How many of you are aware of that? There's no saturated fat in a clogged artery. So please don't tell your patients to stop eating saturated fat. Dead wrong. What's an EFA? Essential fatty acid. Two flavors, parent omega-6, parent omega-3. Have to get them from food. The body can't make them. I want to make it very clear, olive oil has very few EFAs in them. It's mainly oleic acid, which is omega-9, the body makes. So olive oil is a zero. It doesn't harm you, but it doesn't help you at all. It's not the answer. What is the answer? PEOs, parent essential oils, they're bioidentical EFAs. We'll talk about that. And I coined this term to clearly delineate between the parent and the derivatives. Most people mistakenly think all the parents, the LA and the ALA, get converted to GLA, to DHA, to EPA, the fish oil stuff. You're going to soon see that's wrong. The body makes derivatives as needed. Why is the problem with the parent essential oils? Food processing. And it's typically in the LA, the omega-6, because nobody uses omega-3 for frying or baking. It's too reactive. So all the oils used for frying at the fast food markets and in the baking is omega-6. It can't smell like fish that's gone bad, okay? So all the oxygen transfer capability is ruined. And I don't care if trans fats are gone, like on the next slide. What they replace it with is even worse. Into esterified fats, nobody's asking this question. What are we trying to stop? The oxygen transfer. The solution is worse than the original problem. I can't believe it. So just because you don't have trans fats, don't think for a second you're safe. You're not. The oxygen transfer is still stopped. Here's some omega-6 to omega-3, the parents of different oils. A couple of things. I do not recommend hemp oil. It's used commercially for commercial purposes, not culinary. I absolutely do not recommend canola oil. That's rapeseed oil. And soy oil, I consider food for a pig. I would not give soy anything to anybody. Why do we care about PEOs? Well, you need to understand Otto Warburg, MD, PhD, Nobel Prize winner. The oxygen cancer connection. Who was he? Greatest biochemist of the 20th century. How many here have heard the name Otto Warburg? Most oncologists haven't, but okay, a few of you. Good. Life's ambition to cure cancer. He was first a medical physicist, then a physician. Top physiologist. 1931 Nobel Prize winner of physiology or medicine. A couple of things. You could read about him later. Luckily, the whole presentation is on disc. I have to move fast because there's a lot of great information here. Never jumped to conclusions, never published anything wrong, often did an experiment 10 times. Compare that to what happens today. Everything gets reversed almost within 5 years. The published papers are not worth the paper they're printed on. I go through this stuff every week. Probably 1,000 papers, 3 should have even been published out of the 1,000. I can't believe how bad it is. That's why physicians don't even believe their own medical journals. They don't know what to believe. And I don't blame you. It's a tough, tough position you're in. Here's some of the work Dr. Warburg did. Basically a 70-year career in cancer research, in addition to a whole lot of other stuff. His seminal discovery, the oxygen-cancer connection. Cancer is always caused by deprivation of oxygen. Prime cause of cancer. I want to repeat that. Cancer has one prime cause. Decrease the oxygen for a certain amount of time at a certain threshold, it turns out to be 35%. Cancer always comes. Every secondary cause, like asbestos, like smoking, has to relate back to the prime cause. Back then, Dr. Warburg didn't know how to best oxygenate at the cell level, not the blood level, the cell level. Fortunately, today we do, and I'll tell you exactly how to do it. Is this verified? Absolutely in America. 1953, Goldblatt Cameron, outstanding experiment over 2.5 years, deprived heart cells by oxygen. When the oxygen deficiency, cancer. Without the oxygen deficiency, no cancer. B, the biggest thing is once you have a cancerous cell, you are not going to convert it back to normal. I want to make this real clear. There's people out there saying, I can take a cancerous cell, bring it right. No, you can't. It's irreversibly ruined in the mitochondria with the respiration at the cell level. Proven in 1955, oxygen deficiency is present when cancer develops. A brilliant experiment by 2 other people, Malgren and Flanagan, with Clostridium, and it was published in Cancer Research. So when you have a low oxygen, the cancer develops. Is there current confirmation? Absolutely. All the medical journals, the lower the partial pressure of oxygen, the worse the cancer. And it doesn't matter if it's carcinoma or sarcoma. Always in every case, the worse the hypoxia, low oxygen, the worse the cancer prognosis, and the traditional treatments don't work as well. Chemotherapy and radiation. The worse the oxygen deficiency, the less effective it is. That's why when people get chemo right out of the block, there's a chance that that may work. Second or third time, it doesn't work at all because the oxygen deprivation increases. Current research is headed in the wrong direction. Again, nobody's connecting the dots. It's not genetically caused. We'll talk about that. There's no cancer vaccines. It's based on flawed science. Current cancer treatments are archaic. The daily recommendations to prevent cancer, fruits, vegetables, and fiber, scientifically unfounded and do not work. There's no metabolic pathway why they should work, and this is published. Journal of the American Medical Association, 2007. How many people are still saying fruits and vegetables to stop cancer and fiber to stop colon cancer? It's wrong. 1999, New England Journal of Medicine, America's top medical publication, fiber did not stop colon cancer.